What's going on, guys? I'm Cameron. I'm here with Peyton and Alex, and we are the co-founders and founders of The Breakdown. Today, we'll be going over draft recap, NBA playoffs, and MLB hot starts. Let's get into it. Draft recap. I wouldn't say he hit it on spot, but he was pretty close. The Drake London pick at 10 to the Jets, but he went 2 spots earlier.
I'll take it. Wide receiver 1 still. Call it wide receiver 1. Myself from the back.
I think, looking back to it, good prediction, but I think it was a great pick. I think they're going to center his offense around him and Pitts, 2 playmakers.
Monsters.
So I think so. The schedules came out. They have the hardest schedule out of anybody. So, what you think? First overall pick maybe next year, and they'll get either Bryce Young or Stroud, and that offense could be elite. They have a solid defense. I wouldn't say anything too good, but they did lose. They lost Boyasauce, right? Yeah. I mean,
I do want to talk about the quarterbacks. I've seen some stuff about talking about quarterbacks starting. The guys like Malik, Ritter, Howell, Corral. So there's a chance that not a single rookie quarterback would start a game this year. It's not likely, but if you look at like Trubisky could start the whole year. Mariota plays well, could start the whole year. But like guys like Malik, Ritter, Howell, Corral, they got drafted in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round for a reason. Like people are looking at Malik Willis thinking he's going to go over into Tennessee and start games. Like maybe this year, he's not. I was all in on Malik, but as soon as he dropped to the end of the 3rd round, told me everything I needed to know. He's not a very good prospect. If he's dropping that late, not a good prospect.
I agree. I think if people think that Malik Willis is going to come in and start over Tannehill, they're just completely wrong. Because Tannehill has done what he's needed to do. Yes, he has the best running back in the NFL, but that does not matter because he's been leading this team to is it 3 straight division championships?
Yeah.
Tannehill was they were the 1 seed a couple years ago.
They're talking like him coming and starting in like, Tannehill has bad games. He's going to start.
They said Tannehill was top 10 like a few years ago.
I mean, but like they're looking at people like Corral and like Howell as if they're going to get starts this year. Like these are 3rd, 4th, and 5th round picks. Like those guys rarely ever get starts in the NFL. They may never get starts in the NFL.
I just don't see a world next season where Malik gets a start. I think last year, how banged up the Titans were, it made Tannehill look worse. He was thrown to nobody last year when A.J. Brown was hurt. They had nobody to throw to. Derrick Henry was out, and they still won games. And they think Malik Willis is just going to come in and start. It's just not true. I think Tannehill's a good enough quarterback to lead this team to the playoffs, top 5 seed, whatever. But Malik Willis should not be close to starting yet.
All right, moving on. Now we're into like a month. We're about a month into the MLB season. You can kind of see how things are shaping out. We got some surprises, some disappointments. I think we're going to start with the hottest teams right now. I'm going to start with the New York Yankees. Best record in baseball. Best team in baseball.
Ooh.
Best team in baseball right now. They have a top 5 rotation. The lineup is there. The bullpen is there.
The star power is there.
Judge and Stanton is there. It's the best team in baseball right now. I think it's you can maybe debate with the Dodgers, but I don't think it's that much of a debate.
And I also think a team right in the same city as them, the New York Mets, Scherzer got back, but without DeGrom, I don't think anybody saw them starting at 22 and 11. I mean, their offense, they definitely did add some pieces, but Tyler McGill coming in with the combined no-hitter. Guys from the bullpen throwing really well. Like I've been across the whole MLB. We've all known that the balls are dead this year.
Yeah.
So a lot of ERA numbers are down, and a lot of people are throwing good. Like Pablo Lopez is sub 1 ERA. There's 2 dudes in the Diamondbacks that are like 1.2 and 0.95.
Allen,
like
Kelly.
The MLB, I think they're gonna look to definitely change the balls and change like the pitching level. But this year. It's pretty usual, honestly.
Looking on the disappointments, Red Sox sitting bottom at the end of the AL East at 11 and 20. That is
my team.
Horrible.
I wouldn't say I didn't expect it, but
behind the Orioles.
We are behind the Orioles. I think the main reason is our pitching. I think we can't get anything going. Yes, our offense is not as hot as it was last year, but we have awful bullpen, awful starting. We have just all around bad play so far. But I think Also, Trevor Story has been playing awful.
Awful.
He was.
He's been
What is he
horrible.
hitting?
He's in like
Like,
low 200.
low
It's looking like an
200.
awful signing right now.
Not great. Just not great.
Also,
Another
not fun to
surprise.
watch.
All right, surprisingly bad is the Cincinnati Reds.
8-24.
They were what 5-23 at one point.
Yeah. I was since the Reds, but also since the Phillies. Adding Schwarber and Castellanos.
Well,
to that lineup.
their defense is horrible.
I mean, they're 14. I mean, 3 games of. I mean, it's like the beginning of the season. It's not that bad.
What do you think about the Braves? I think they can turn it around after a slow-ish start.
I think it's one of those post World Series slumps. You know,
Yeah, I agree.
that always seems to happen. I think they'll be fine.
Hopefully, Acuna turns around because he just got back, and so he hit like a 450-foot bomb.
Another thing
like
to talk about.
Game back.
Astros on a 10-game winning streak right now.
Yeah.
We're at 11-11. You know, always going to be one of the best teams in baseball. Just always seem to piece it together, and
I
they're doing
think
it right now.
this is like the best team in baseball, actually.
One of the best teams in baseball.
Because the Astros are definitely better than the Yankees. Yankees always fail in the postseason.
We'll see.
You know, Astros.
We'll see.
You know, Carlos Correa leaving. What did that do? Nothing. Jeremy Pena second
Pena comes
in.
in, stunning.
He's one of the best rookies in the league. He's got the most home runs as a rookie. His average is starting to get up there. I mean, the kid's a stud. I mean, Correa was literally watching from the sideline, watching Pena take his spot and do it even better than him.
Oh man.
Even better.
Even better.
Okay.
That's a bold take.
Correa's
Correa's
hitting sub 200 this year.
Correa's gonna finish hitting 280 with like 25 balls.
He's still the best shortstop in baseball, in my opinion. And he's good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Correa is the best shortstop.
Tatis.
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
I think Trey Turner.
I was gonna say Trey too.
I think Correa is.
I think Trey Turner is slept on. I think if Trey Turner wasn't on the Dodgers, he would get a lot more attention. But he kind of gets lost in there.
But I mean, Tatis is it your number one right now?
If Tatis would stay off the motorcycles and actually play games, I would maybe put him number one. But he can never stay healthy.
I think Correa is all around the best shortstop. Do y'all agree on that defensively and
probably defensively? I'd have to say it's Correa.
Yeah,
defensively one
for sure.
Overall,
I think he's off to a slow start, but you gotta think he's gonna turn it around. Just me.
I mean, he also had Twins got also off to like a decent start. I mean,
yeah, they're leading that division. I don't think anybody. The White Sox have been. They've been average. They've been hurt a ton. Landslide and tearing his meniscus, that sucked.
Yeah.
That was a horrible loss for them. And then Eloy Jimenez goes down. Tough start for them. But how about the NL West?
I was going to talk about the Rangers. Did y'all expect them to be last in the division?
Yeah, I did. I didn't think.
Even with the signings of Simeon?
I thought it was going to be Oakland and then the Rangers.
Oh, yeah, I thought it'd be Oakland.
It'll be them two at the bottom.
Simeon has been bad. Awful bad.
After getting all that money, too.
He's been horrible.
I mean, think about it. So watching the AL West forever with the Astros, it's just like Simeon, he defensively, he didn't really put it together. So that's why they went to second base. And his average never really got there until like last year. And so I think giving him a 7-year contract, I mean, the Rangers just needed to,
get pieces.
I don't know. I think it's always like a wait and see thing, especially when guys like sign like with a new team and they change like a big change in location. Like he went from playing up in New York and now he's playing in Texas. It usually takes them like a while. Like I think it's the same thing with Correa too.
He played in New York actually, Buffalo.
Well, last year they were playing in Buffalo because of the COVID, but I think he'll be fine. Just like I think Correa will be fine. It's just kind of an adjustment thing.
I agree.
But I think the biggest thing is the NL West has 5 teams over 500. I think that's sick. The D-backs, nobody. I don't think anybody. They were expected to be one of the worst teams in baseball, and they're 17-15. The Rockies are 16-15. Always good at home. Then you have
Dodgers and Padres are always going to be
Connor Joe, journeyman story, and then you have the 3 big dogs: Dodgers, Padres, Giants.
Yeah,
this is going to be a dog fight.
That's going to be a fun race to watch. Those top 3 teams, just to see who will win the division.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because didn't they expand the playoffs this year?
Yeah, there's an extra team in there.
So, because the Padres didn't even make it last year, and that's crazy to think of. Because with Machado and Tatis, and
they had that tailspin at the latter half of the year that just absolutely killed them. I think one team though that I really expect to pick up the play here is It's coming from the American League, and I think it's going to be the Mariners. That's a team that I was big on earlier in the year, and they've scuffled, but I think that they can get it going. I think the Angels are going to fall off a little bit. Now they're good, but I don't think they're this good. I think that
once the Angels get into the dog days of August,
as amazing as Mike Trout is, and
Shohei
Shohei Ohtani is, I think that the Mariners are a better all-around ball club.
Taylor Ward will not
continue
the hot streak. I mean,
they don't have pitching. I mean, obviously, Reed Detmers threw it out here the other day.
But I mean, his ERA was in the 5s before that game.
I think it's just one of those fluky games.
Honestly, for the Mariners, I really like Ty France, and I think they have a young squad. So like
Julio Rodriguez,
not seeing that success early in the season, I don't think it affects them too much. I think they're going to put the confidence the rest of the year, especially with the weaker teams like the Rangers and the A's.
I mean, the Rangers and the A's are going to be bottom half. We just know that.
Yeah.
Okay, now transitioning into the NBA playoffs. First, let's talk about the first round. Celtics sweeping the Nets.
I don't know. I think the Nets. I think it's gotten to the point where Kyrie Irving is no longer a superstar, in my opinion.
I
I
disagree. I think he is a superstar. You saw what he did the first 2 games, and then the Celtics defense just overall just made it uncomfortable for both KD and Kyrie to get anything going.
For me with Kyrie is he's doing all this crap. He's being a weirdo. He's walking around with dust in the air, just carrying around a walking stick like he's 100 years old. He's just being a weirdo, and he's not even playing half the games in the year. If you're Brooklyn, you have to be pissed that you signed a guy for 4 years and he's not even playing for you.
But they changed it. The governor changed, or the mayor.
Okay, but he still missed half the season. You don't think that had an impact on them?
For sure, but I think next year, whenever he is playing all the games, and they will get Ben Simmons back, who is one of the best defenders in the league, not just as a guard, because he can guard 1 through 5. I think he'll help them out by a lot.
The best ability is availability. The
I
Nets haven't had any of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
KD was hurt.
KD was boxed on defense by the Celtics. Celtics do a great job of playing defense. I mean, I personally think the Celtics should have already moved on from Milwaukee. I think they had 4 easy games to win. They had the games in their hands.
Boston's better. You think Boston's better than Milwaukee?
Boston's a better all-around team.
Boston is better all-around. They were favored in the series, but they've also been riddled with injuries. Marcus missed a game. Rob's missed 2. Or Rob's missed 3.
I mean, then just late game performance by Celtics. Just bad. They take bad shots in late games. It's bad. And Giannis is a
Giannis is the best player in the world.
He's the best player in the league. And I think that's without a doubt. I mean, the Celtics are up 3-2 if they can get a rebound, and that's just what it comes to. It was unlucky. We were without Rob. We need him most, but
I mean,
it's just annoying to see that
the talent across the board in the NBA is ridiculous. And then you have a team like the Miami Heat who have a bunch of literal undrafted guys that are coming together and dominating superstars in the NBA. Their defense is so collectively good, and Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero running that offense is so good.
You can finally tell that waking up at 4 a.m. is finally paying off for Jimmy Butler.
I mean, they knocked off the Sixers today. Thankfully, I'm tired of seeing Joel Embiid play.
Oh, no. I totally disagree.
Crybaby. I hate watching the whining, bro.
I don't know if Payne will agree because he is a Rockets fan, but Harden was one of my favorite players growing up, and I really want to see him succeed. But I do feel like he is on the downcline of his career.
I think Harden's about to officially enter bum territory.
So this is the thing. It's the thing. Harden.
He's up for a contract.
Recently, the Rockets never succeeded. He doesn't play defense. He doesn't hustle.
Out of shape.
And then in late game moments when he wants to do it by himself, which he hasn't even gotten to do because he can't get open, he just dribbles, step back 3. That's all the Rockets.
If I'm a team next year, I'm paying him like $20 million max.
I think he's gonna get a supermax. He's James Harden. I think he will get a supermax. But does he deserve it?
Let me break down something.
Probably not.
Daryl Morey's with the Philly. So that's what it's come down to.
Miami won the first 2 games of the series, right?
Yeah. Without Embiid.
And then who won Game 3? Was it Philly or Miami?
Philly won twice.
Yeah.
Philly won twice. But he didn't have that breakout game till Game 4, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So so when you look at James Harden, right? They go down to Miami to play the first 2. I know damn well what he was doing in Miami. He was not practicing for the games. He was not
in the club.
He was not in his hotel room at 10 o'clock the night before getting his mind right. He was in the club. That's why he stunk the first 2 games. And then he had that layover from the club. And then he finally comes back in game 4 and he decides to play.
We saw what it was. He was disappearing in the second half. He was averaging, I think it was 13 points on like 50-50 shooting splits in the first half, and then he just disappears in the second half, going for like 4 points on 30% from the field and 20% from 3. Like that's what you can't have that as your number 1 or number 2 guy in the playoffs.
When you're in the club till 4 a.m., it's hard to have that endurance to play for the whole game.
To add on to what Cam's saying, in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, James Harden had 0 points in the second half. 0. Like, as a superstar in the NBA, you had 0 points.
It's unacceptable.
George Niang put up more points in the second half than James Harden did. Who is that? I don't even know who that is. That's a nobody. You know who that is?
I think I saw a stat that everybody on the Sixers this whole series was outscored by guess who? Max Strus.
Who? I don't know who that
Max Strus. He wasn't drafted. He wasn't. You probably didn't even know of him until I just said his name right now, but he outscored their whole roster.
Struce, Gabe Vincent, they're all stepping up in big moments. Kyle Lowry's injured.
They're not even back. Duncan Robinson isn't even getting minutes.
Duncan Robinson hasn't played yet. They got signed for $20 million.
He got 9 minutes today and put up 1 shot, literally.
What do y'all think about the Warriors-Grizzlies series? That's been a chippy series. I mean, the Grizzlies won by 50. That's some of the things about some of the NBA games are just unwatchable, man. When a team wins by that much in the playoffs, like I can't understand. How did they lose to the Ja Morantless Grizzlies? And I don't even think Ja's like a top 15 or top 20 player, if I'm being honest. But they still lost.
You don't think Ja's top 20?
No, he's maybe top 20. I don't think he's top 15.
Wow.
Hey, bro, let's do another segment. Top 20 players in the NBA. Honestly, I want to hear your top 20.
All right. Fine.
I
think he's bored of.
We are basketball players. We understand the NBA. Alex is a baseball player. Let's see what he's taking.
I said top 15, top 20. I think I can name 15 guys I'd rather take over him.
Okay, name him.
Okay, so you got
currently
Curry 1, Tatum, Giannis, Luka, Devin Booker. That's 5, right? KD. Can't say Kyrie because I just land-based him, so I can't say Kyrie. Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler. You not with the Jimmy Butler team?
I'm not with the Jaylen Brown.
I'm a Celtics fan.
I'm not with the Jaylen Brown.
No comment.
Jaylen Brown team.
Okay, I do want to chime on one thing.
Well, hold on. That's 8. That's
Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic. That's 10.
That's 10.
That's 10. Easy off.
Would you have Chris Paul over?
No, not Chris Paul.
You would not have Chris Paul?
No, not Chris Paul. I think. LeBron. I don't like LeBron.
Okay, that's 11.
Anthony Davis. Yeah, Anthony Davis.
Availability is the best. Or what is it?
Availability.
That is true. He is a riddled old man. I still gotta take Anthony Davis.
That's 12. Keep going. He said.
Trae Young. No. I take it back. I take back Trae Young. Who did we get? Did I tell you all Luke? I told you all Luke, right? Oh, jeez.
So it's the top 15 players on here.
No, I don't think so.
You did say top 15 to 20.
15 to 20.
So you think you can name 20 people better?
Not 20. I think I can maybe name 3 more, but I'm blanking.
You know, Ja did win Most Improved Player. He was also in the MVP conversation for quite a while this year.
Okay.
And he also averaged like what was it, 27, 8, and 3?
Win me a good playoff series, and then I'll be impressed.
He beat
the Timberwolves.
He did beat the Timberwolves. Trash. Okay. One thing I do want to talk about the NBA playoffs, I think it's getting a little annoying. I think too many people are like, we're ranking everybody in the playoffs. Like legacies are being tarnished, and like no one is actually like enjoying basketball. Like you're allowed to have bad games in the playoffs. Like, but when people like Harden, for example, has a bad series, he's washed. LeBron's had bad series before. He's had bad games, and he bounces back and he starts getting in the gym, putting in work, and he gets back and he gets better. That's just one thing I think is getting annoying as like watching the game because people are always ranking and like, this player sucks now because he has one bad series. I just think that's a little annoying as a fan.
For me as a fan, I love watching good, like defensive, energetic basketball, and I love superstars. But what destroys the game is superstars going just one-on-one, complaining about like a foul call every single time. I think that's like my most hated thing as a fan. Like when I watch people just complain about foul calls the whole time.
I agree.
For me, as a casual basketball fan, extremely casual basketball fan, do not watch a lot of NBA because I honestly don't enjoy watching the NBA. I think I see a lot of anytime I see a tap on the shoulder and the guy goes down like LeBron and starts crying, I lose my mind. But I just think there's not a lot of competitive. I think there's a lot of blowouts. Basically, I don't think the NBA is competitive enough. I don't think there's enough fun. There's not enough fun, atmospheric games. I think a lot of it's just blowouts or they kind of feel very long to me. I don't feel like I can sit down and watch a whole game and truly enjoy it. And that's as a casual fan. Obviously, if you're a basketball, you watch basketball all the time, you probably enjoy it, but I just really don't. I think it's lost its art.
I think I do watch quite a lot, but it is more fun to me because I do play, so I understand I think we're in the same boat for NBA and MLB because I don't watch too much MLB because I just think it's boring because I don't play, which I think is what Alex is kind of trying to say. But I do agree about the whole getting tapped on the arm, flopping, all that. You watch the Suns game, and it's just back and Luka. Every time he goes up, every time he gets touched, he's falling on the ground, he's whining for a foul, he's complaining to the refs, and that's just annoying to watch. This is why I've lost a little bit of respect for Luka because it's a physical game, it's a physical sport, it's a contact sport. You're allowed to get hit, you're allowed to get touched going up. It's not going to be foul every time.
He is better than Tatum though. Luka Doncic's better than just Tatum.
That's for another.
I do have something I think we should talk about, and this is transitioning from the NBA. It's the college NIL rules. I think the NIL. So I want to read this tweet from Deion Sanders. He added, at NCAA, you have a problem. I'm trying to help before it blows up in your face. Money makes you more of who you really are. Now think about that for a minute. God bless you all. # Coach Prime. So first of all, Deion went to Florida State. I'm a huge Florida State fan. So I'm not. I hate to. No. I'm gonna bash on Deion a little bit. Deion, you opened up the party when you got Travis Hunter. You gave him $1.5 million from Barstool. You opened up the party to the Wild Wild West because that's what the NCAA is right now. Whoever throws out the most money is getting the best team, and it's completely ruining college sports.
Why did A&M make the best sudden overall draft class?
Because we have the best recruiting coach in the nation.
Because y'all have the most money to give. It really doesn't have. There's nothing more to do with that.
Money.
It's just all it is booster money.
Same with UT.
Whoever
Same
throws
with
the most
Alabama,
money is
same
gonna have
with
the
Bama,
best.
Same
An
with
already
same
unlevel
with
playing field is becoming even more unlevel, and I think it's.
And that's what creates the big divide in college football is these top universities have all this money and booster club money, and all these small universities are going to get players just taken away from them.
That's why college football is ran by 3 majority conferences. It's like SEC, and it's like the Big 12 or Big 10, and then the Big 12 probably.
But I mean,
outside of those 3, you don't see you have the occasional BYU,
Clemson, yeah, Clemson's the
right. But that's just because Florida State is not.
Go look at the Pittsburgh wide receiver who.
We're not gonna just slip that Florida State in right there.
Back in
they've been ranked in the last 3 years.
Okay, a couple years ago, won a natty 2013. One of the best college football teams ever.
Was it 9 years ago? Shit.
13, 14, 15.
One of the best college football teams ever. But back to what I was saying, the Pitt wide receiver.
Jordan Addison.
Yeah.
Jordan Addison is literally turned down 1.5 from USC or something.
And Pittsburgh develops this guy, and he enters the transfer portal to seek a huge NIL deal. That to me, that doesn't sound like college football transfer portal. That sounds like free agency.
And notice what his top players are in free agency: USC, Texas, Alabama. They're all throwing just money at this kid. Whoever throws the most money at this kid's gonna get the kid. Literally.
Yeah, I do think it's ruined.
It's ruining
college football, and I think the transfer portal for COVID when it opened up, I thought it was a good thing. But it's
the transfer portal has been bad for years now too.
And it's ruining kids coming out of high school that want to get recruited by not even big D1s but small D1s. You have so many people in the transfer portal.
You have guys who are on their 6th year at school.
They're
blocking up spots for younger kids.
And everybody wants a 6th-year kid instead of a freshman that's going to help them win now.
And I mean, it's not you can't blame the 6th-year kid. Hold on to that.
Yeah,
dream about you
exactly.
And I
can,
do
but
think
it's
it
like,
was a
it's
little-
bad. It's bad.
It was a little fluctuated by COVID because everybody gained like another year of
Another year
eligibility.
eligibility.
So then you see all these D1 prospects, all these D1 players like funneling into these JUCO and like these small D2, and then they have to go transfer into all these D1 after a year of playing. So it does kind of like mess everything up.
We talked about, was it Miami, or it was a team in the NCAA tournament that had like an average age of like 22 years old as like a college team. That's
Texas.
nuts.
Texas did. Texas did.
I think it is a little different for college basketball than it is football.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's kind of like for college basketball, I think Payne will agree. It kind of like switched from a bunch of one and dones to like more experience, like people that know like what they're doing in that sort of program that will help you win.
It switched to the 5-5 game. All the freshmen, every single freshman is playing leave, and then now it's like we want developed guys, like just people in NCAA and then NCAA tournament want developed guards that can win you games, like not young freshmen. Yeah. So I mean, it's turning into like definitely an older NCAA. Maybe not so much football wise, because football wise you're gonna have guys that just come in and dominate.
Yeah.
One thing about back to the NBA playoffs predictions. Y'all think so? Right now, as we're doing this, the Mavs are up 15 at halftime against the Suns, so that game will most likely go to 7. Do y'all think? So the Heat.
It's the National Blowout Association. Mavs win by 30.
So the Heat are in the Eastern Conference Finals. Do y'all think the Celtics can come back?
That was not Bucks 3-2.
It's Bucks 3-2 in Milwaukee.
I think Bucks.
So you think they close it out? Okay.
I think Suns win as well. And
Suns win in 7, assuming Mavs don't blow this.
Yeah, I think Suns win the series.
Okay. What about the Warriors?
Warriors win as well.
Okay.
I love the Heat. I actually do love the Heat.
I agree.
I think Warriors beat the Suns. Warriors go to the finals, and then I think the Bucks beat the Heat. And Bucks Warriors finals.
Mm-hmm.
Warriors win. Curry gets number 4, and he's the greatest point guard of all time.
Number 4, and it's hopefully his first Finals MVP.
And he's cemented as the greatest point guard of all time.
So I don't see this
over Magic Johnson.
This is the thing with the Warriors. I see with him getting run up by 50. I don't think you can blame Mike Brown and Kerr for getting
I think it was a fluke game.
But I
do think
the shooting inconsistency from Clay and Poole and Curry, you can definitely notice it.
I don't even think it's inconsistency. Like you watch the games and you see the shots that Clay's taking.
Dude, like
awful.
Like
fade away 1 foot baseline. Like it's just it's awful to watch because like you can see, and I think Clay notices it too, that Poole is overcoming Clay and he's a better player now. And Clay just like he's losing his spotlight next to Curry. Now it's Poole and Curry, not Clay and Curry. So I think he's getting a little jealous. So he's taking all these bad shots, which is why his efficiency is so bad, and which is why they're.
I don't like that. So I think the Suns come out the West.
I agree. I think
the Heat. I just love how the Heat can just. I think Giannis. If the Bucks come out the Celtics series, Giannis is gonna be very run down. I mean, Horford, they throw all these bodies at Giannis every single
Grant,
game.
They throw Tatum, they throw Brown, they throw Horford.
He's going to get his, what he put up, he's averaged like 30 and 10, like 15 and 10, or like 30, 15 and 10.
He's just unstoppable. I don't think it's like you can't stop him. It's like how much you can contain him.
Literally.
So I think.
And it depends on Connaughton and Grayson not knocking it out from outside.
And Wesley Matthews. Because Wesley Matthews has been locking down Jason Tatum, which is why like you saw at the end of game 6 or game 5, whatever it was, the shots Tatum was taking at the end of the game, it was just part of the reason why we couldn't close out. It was just bad fadeaway elbow jumpers, like which is his shot, but it's contested and it's off balance and it just wasn't good, which is why they lost game 5, and that's probably going to be the main reason on why we don't win this series. If we don't win it.
Yeah, so I think the Suns and Heat get in the finals. I think Heat win in 7.
I think I'm going to agree with that. I think the Heat can throw a lot of bodies at Giannis. You can put Bam on him. You can chip him with PJ Tucker. You can chip him with Jimmy, all 3 premier defenders. But I do think one thing, which is why the Heat may not win, is how bad Kyle Lowry's been playing. He's been awful this whole postseason.
I don't think it matters because Gabe Vincent is very behind him.
But
Big booty
you
Kyle Lowry.
can't win. I don't think you can win an Eastern Conference Finals relying on Gabe Vincent and Max Strus.
They're not relying on him.
They are with how bad Lowry's been playing. I think they are. You saw how Strus put up 20 and 11 today. Do you know any of these players? Have you heard of them?
They're not relying on him. They're not relying on him though. You're taking it at a totally different angle. Tyler Hickham with a bench and averages 20 a game. Tyler Hickham gave you 30.
So he can give you 30, but who's going to be their fourth option to step up whenever Bam's
Jimmy
playing?
Butler. Jimmy Butler's right there.
No,
It's the first option.
Yeah, I'm saying you got Jimmy, you got Bam, and you got Tyler. One of them has a bad game. Who's your other guy?
Strus has been killing.
That's what I'm
this
saying.
Series.
He's been killing it. But can you win games relying on Max Strus to step up if someone is having a bad game?
You're not relying on him as the fourth option. The fourth option is the guy that sits in the corner and shoots threes. That's what Strus does.
But I'm saying, can you rely on him to do that?
To make threes? Yeah. I can rely on him to make threes. Yes, easily.
All right, we'll see.
All right, one more thing another thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about the MLB umpiring, specifically something I came across last night. I'm sure y'all saw it, or at least I know you saw it.
Of course I saw it.
I'm going to try to roll the clip here.
Oh, he rung him up. Strike three and a pitch that was not a strike. Ball's down. He's been thrown.
But that was awful.
Disappointing.
That was probably the worst call I think I've seen in years.
It was a ball and a half below the strike zone.
The ball was almost in the dirt, and you ring a guy up on a 3-2 count with
Bases
loaded in the sixth inning in a tie game, and then that team goes on to lose the game. That's a major problem, man. Like that's not. It wasn't borderline. It didn't clip the edge. It wasn't even like a baseball side. It was two baseballs down.
It was awful.
Ring a guy up.
And not only that, the thing with Mad Bum like about a week ago, with the umpire just staring at him.
Oh my God! Dude,
looking to throw him out.
That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. He's patting his hand for sticky stuff, staring at him the whole time. Mad Bum looks up, looks back down,
Boom,
goes,
toss.
"What the heck?" Looks back up again, and then throws him.
I mean, dog, if
He was
a man
instigating
staring at
the
me,
whole
bro,
thing.
I'm knocking him out. Like that's just how it is.
And I've watched enough Yankee games to see that. Like guys like. I'm not trying to sound. I'm gonna sound biased, but it is what it. I got like Aaron Judge getting balls called at his shins, and he's 6'7". Like it's ridiculous how bad these umpires are. And some of them are good, but some of them are horrendous. And some of the calls they make decide games. Like usually you can say like you can't blame on the umpires. That call last night really made me realize how bad of an issue that was.
Something definitely has to change.
So I have a question for you. So you think they'll move to?
I was thinking electronic.
I'm not a fan of the electronic strike zone.
Me neither.
I'm really not, but I just don't know what else you can do. I mean,
With an umpire, I think it adds the where he sets up and how the catcher it proves
I-
how good your catcher
I
is.
enjoy that. I enjoy that part of the game. I
Human
think having an umpire is a really important aspect of just baseball, like the traditional aspect of baseball. But
Sure.
when they make that amount of calls, that makes me I don't know. I guess I can't really say these umpires need to get better because there was umpire.
They are humans and they
Yeah,
are
they
humans
are.
overall. They're gonna miss calls, but I feel like
And that's
If
what's
they-
nice about the instant replays is that, or the
Uh-huh.
challenges is that. But then again, there was a couple play, in another Yankee game, went the Yankees way, run down, guy gets tagged. They used their challenge in the inning already.
do y'all
Can't use it again.
do y'all think managers should be allowed to challenge strike and ball calls? Because you can see how it can fluctuate a whole game.
there is something like that in the minor. I don't know, maybe the Atlantic League or something. Where
Absolutely not. That ruins baseball right there.
I
Even if it's just 1 or 2 a game
That
and
ruins
big moments
baseball.
like that.
I agree, but I do think the challenge. There is something wrong with the challenge because let's say this: you challenge a play, right? You get the challenge wrong, you lose your challenge. Then another play doesn't go your way, and then you can't challenge because you lost it already. What's the point of the challenge system being there if there's still bad calls that can't be challenged? I think any call. I think it should be in NFL, right, or college football, any late game call, or is it?
Was it under 2 minutes?
Under 2
2 minutes, no coaches challenge.
But if it's a close call, it should be reviewed by the officials
100%.
every time because
It's like the NBA,
they review everything.
close things.
I think
But I also think that ruins the sport. If you it's annoying one, but if you take that take so much time in the last 2 minutes to review everything, why not do it for the whole game? Because that can ruin the whole game too, not just the last 2 minutes.
It does get a little obnoxious in basketball just because they sit at the table for so long.
Last 2 minutes take 6 minutes. It's like 60 minutes to finish. Yeah. I mean, that does it for us though.
I think that's gonna wrap it up.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
If you made it this far,
yeah, really.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You a real one. Shout out Ethos Vintage.
Yeah.
Celtics and 7. We're winning it all. Trust. Mavs are up 22 right now, so.
Jerry Jeudy was arrested today.
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay, we acted up. Bad news.
We'll see him on the Raiders soon enough.
Him and Henry will be balling in the longest yard prison league. Peace.